Welcome back to Tech Vibe. If you've been waiting for Apple's next big move in the tablet world, you're in for a treat, because today we're diving into everything about the upcoming iPad Pro M5. From the expected release date to upgrades and brand new features, there's a lot to talk about, and some of these details might surprise you. The biggest question everyone has is when this new iPad will actually arrive. Based on Apple's consistent launch cycle, the iPad Pro M5 is expected to make its debut in October 2025. Apple has been pretty predictable with their fall releases, and this year looks no different. If you've been holding off on an upgrade, that's the time to watch. It's not just about a new tablet though. Apple usually times this to line up with other major product launches, so it could be part of a much bigger announcement event. Now let's talk upgrades, because that's where the M5 Pro really begins to shine. At the heart of this device will be the brand new M5 chip. Apple's silicon has been leading the industry in performance and efficiency, and the M5 is expected to push things even further. Faster processing, better energy management, and stronger AI and graphics capabilities mean this iPad will be more powerful than many laptops out there. For professionals, creators, and power users, that kind of leap is exactly what makes the Pro lineup so tempting. On top of the new chip, there's speculation that we'll see higher base memory configurations. Where older models started with 8 GB of RAM, the M5 Pro may begin with 16 GB, at least in certain versions. That opens the door for seamless multitasking, smoother creative workflows, and handling demanding apps without breaking a sweat. Add Wi-Fi 7 support into the mix, and this device could feel noticeably faster not just offline, but also when syncing large files, streaming content, or collaborating in real time. The cameras are also getting attention, specifically the front-facing setup. Apple has been working to make the iPad feel more natural for video calls, and the M5 Pro is rumored to include a dual front camera system, one positioned for landscape use and another for portrait. Imagine joining a FaceTime or Zoom call and never feeling off-center again. It's one of those small touches that could make a big difference for people who use their iPads for communication as much as for creativity. Design-wise, don't expect a dramatic overhaul. Apple seems to be sticking with the sleek, ultra-thin body we already know from the current generation. The bezels might shrink slightly, but overall it's more about refinement than reinvention. The real star of the show will likely be the OLED display. Apple's suppliers are preparing panels for both 11-inch and 13-inch models, which means deeper blacks, richer colors, and better power efficiency compared to LCD or Mini LED. For anyone who draws, edits photos, or watches a ton of video content, this display upgrade will be one of the most noticeable improvements. On the software side, the iPad Pro M5 will arrive with iPadOS 26. This is where Apple is expected to lean heavily into AI features, smarter multitasking, and tighter integration across its ecosystem. Whether you're working on a Mac, an iPhone, or even using Vision Pro, the iPad will feel like an even more seamless part of the workflow. Think smarter document handling, predictive assistance, and generative AI features baked into apps. Battery life is always a big talking point, and while the design doesn't allow for a huge increase in battery size, the efficiency of the M5 chip could mean noticeable gains in real-world use. You might not see a massive jump in hours, but you could see more consistent performance throughout the day, especially when multitasking or using resource-heavy apps. For people who use their iPad as a laptop replacement, even an extra hour or two of battery life can be a game changer. And here's something interesting. The user experience is expected to feel smoother in ways that aren't always obvious on a spec sheet. Rumors suggest the M5 iPad Pro could improve orientation detection and Face ID responsiveness, so switching between portrait and landscape feels almost instant. It's a small detail, but it's exactly the kind of polish Apple is known for. Pricing is likely to stay in line with the current models, with the 11-inch version starting around $1,000 and the larger 13-inch version costing more. Of course, higher storage. GE and cellular versions will push that price higher, but Apple seems to understand that keeping the entry price consistent helps maintain appeal. For professionals who rely on the iPad Pro daily, the cost often feels justified by the performance and ecosystem integration. For creatives, video editors, designers, illustrators, this iPad Pro M5 could be the perfect upgrade. The combination of more RAM, the M5 chip, OLED display, and improved front camera system makes it more versatile than ever. If you're coming from an older iPad Pro, the leap will feel dramatic. If you already own the M4, the changes may feel more incremental, but still meaningful if you're pushing the limits of your current setup. Of course, no device is perfect. If you were hoping for major redesigns, a radically better rear camera system, or all-day battery life that rivals a MacBook, you might be left wanting. Apple seems focused on refinement this generation rather than revolution. But for those who need a reliable, cutting-edge creative machine, that refinement might be exactly what matters. The iPad Pro M5 looks like a balanced evolution of Apple's most powerful tablet. With the M5 chip, OLED displays, improved front-facing cameras, and smarter software, it's shaping up to be one of the best tools for both work and play in 2025. Whether you're a creative professional or just someone who wants the very best tablet experience, the M5 iPad Pro is worth keeping on your radar. That's all for today's breakdown here on Tech Vibe. If you're excited for the upcoming iPad Pro M5, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and ring the bell so you don't miss our full review when it finally launches. Until next time, stay tuned, stay creative, and keep vibing with tech.